in battle. So if you get back to that wartime analogy, the best way to see how a local assembly could be something that gravitates people to it is that they would understand that this is the place where they get strengthened the most. And it would be hard for people to appreciate and to prioritize those three things that that are the distinctives of your local assembly: preaching the gospel, baptism, and communion. Most people aren't going to prioritize that if they didn't have that education in their household, which is where it should start. Where if you had an understanding of what the gospel is, led by whoever is the father and husband in the household, ideal situation, is the one who is responsible for those things and for teaching that household. And then that household would understand, if we're already hearing the gospel during the week and we already have someone here who is responsible for us and we have this on a daily basis, what is this Sunday about? That's where you would really appreciate going to a place where you have that corporate body and you have the ability to gather with others to, number one, be able to go through and sing and memorize things. That's why a lot of churches continue to stay with a hymnal, because it actually ensures that your songs are something that is directed to Christ and not something that is a song that is just motivational and directs your thoughts away from Christ. Now, on this aspect, if you're thinking back to the wartime analogy, you would change everything to get to a place, if you found it, that was actually giving you, number one, the gospel, which hopefully you were hearing in your home already. But because it's an ongoing battle and it's an ongoing understanding of what you do get to find in your scriptures during the week, you're going to need it on Sunday, because that's going to be something that's going to add. And you would imagine too, that's a place where God brought you so that you'll be spoken to in a different way from somebody who has a different responsibility to you, which would be the pastor of the church. And so at that point, you would have a gospel that is not just a message, but an application that would be tied into your weekly, your Monday through Saturday. And then you have your baptism and you have communion. Communion would be the biggest application, where you're getting the purest form of the gospel, the body and blood that you would actually, even if whatever distraction you had going on, whatever fight you have going on, whatever is going on in your life, you, for that moment, for that brief moment that you're explain properly what this actually is in communion, and you're receiving the body and blood and understanding what was done for you on that cross by remembrance, not by actual application. It's not Roman Catholicism, not Mass, but it is a way for you to have, for that brief window, everything else is going to come out of your mind. When you're actually tasting the bread and you're smelling the wine and you're drinking that and you understand what it actually is, it's really hard to mess that up.